Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and to this video where I am featuring a Seiko. Thank you very much to Graham, a local viewer who got in touch with me and made this piece available. So it's much appreciated. Anybody who can make pieces available, I will certainly try my best to do them justice, to feature them in the channel. So what we have here, let's take a look at this special case. Yes, it is a turtle, a Seiko turtle, and this particular one is actually under the Prospex collection, and it is actually a special PADI piece. So it is something that's arisen out of a collaboration, a partnership with PADI, which is of course the professional association of diving instructors, the largest worldwide body, I believe, of diving membership and diving instruction and certification. Why they've gone about it, I'm not exactly sure. I think Seiko obviously has a strong dive watch history, so apparently they have some I guess some close association with the development of diving history and certification. You can read about it in their particular website. And the publicity around this particular partnership of PADI. Now, turtle is not a term that Seiko came up with. It is a term that the following, the fans, the sometimes fanatical fans of Seiko have come up with. In this particular case, you can see it really very obviously arises from the shape of this, this really classic case, that broad cushion case shape, which resembles the shape of a turtle shell. The other famous nicknames, of course, are like the tuna, the sumo, the monster. There's just a lot of sign of the affection that fans have towards Seiko design. This particular range of watches, now this one is the Seiko PADI Turtle SRPA21. Now, the turtles were sort of reissued early 2016, and the original watch was the Seiko 6309, a production run between the mid-70s to the late 80s, and it is one of the vintage watches that a lot of collectors seem to be fond of and want to search after. So, good on Seiko for reissuing this particular shape of case design. Now this case is actually 45 millimeters in diameter. It is slightly larger than the more usual Seiko turtles, the SRP 77X range, so 773, 775, 777. They're 44.3 millimeters, so there is 0.7 of a millimeter in it. It's not a huge difference, and those other watches also have a 22 millimeter lug width. Why they've done this slightly larger, I don't really know. Maybe it's part of the special edition partnership here. Who really knows? I'm not sure. So this is actually 13.4 millimeters thick, and pleasingly to many people, they have drilled lugs. You can see the hole there that allows you to put a push pin in there to release the lugs, rather than having to work with lug holes, which can be quite tough on the fat spring bars that Seiko sometimes uses. The movement in this case, of course, is the 4R36. It is the upgrade from the previous 7S26, the very well-liked, almost bulletproof reliability in, for example, this my really beloved SKX 007. And while I have the SKX here, just compare it side by side, you can see the turtle really is a more muscular, almost, I guess, a inflated version of the watch. The crown, similar position at the 4 o'clock, and if you can see the hands there, one arrow, one syringe style. If they're not the same size, they're very, very close to being the same size on these watches. And then lastly, I just want to, put the dials face to face. Very close in size, you can see there, but the bezel insert on this particular turtle is 1 millimeter larger, so 39 millimeters across that bezel insert, and you can see immediately, whilst it's got the same double grip pattern on the bezel, the turtle is, you know, just a more muscular bezel overall. So it's got more meat to it, as wider. Okay, so for R36, 21,600 beats per minute, 24 jewel movement, and a 41-hour reserve. It's got hacking, it's got manual winding, and it's got, of course, the day and date complication you can see in the 3 o'clock beveled window there. In this case, the dial is a circular, kind of like sunburst look, and the actual dial itself has you know, applied markings, like it's not very obvious, but you know, if you see close-up photos, you can see there is a raised edge to the marking there, and then the Lumi Bright dot in the middle, you know, that great performing Seiko Lumi Bright loom, and I'll put a loom shot here just to demonstrate how it looks at night. Fills, you know, the hands and the owl markings. Of course, it performs very well. You know, it's really one of the better performing loom watches that I have seen. The dial is really designed for maximum visibility, and really I think it achieves that without any great difficulty. You can see the minute hand has a red outline, and that's really I guess a nice play off this Pepsi steel insert there, blue and red color. And blue and red kind of matches deliberately, I think, the PADI symbol, you know, the red diver on the blue background. That is the PADI symbol. Now this particular case, you can see, it has a pretty nice finish. It's got a circular brush finish on the top, and it transitions pretty nice and sharply to a very polished surface on the side. And you can see, you know, it's got a very pleasing cushion design. It's not just a plain slab on the side. There's really a good craft of the case shape here, which is partly why I think this particular design is so popular and so widely loved. Hardlex crystal, of course, on top, as with many Seiko models around this range, it is Hardlex crystal. This particular watch, the MSRP is 550 USD, but of course you're going to be looking at considerably lower than that. This is still available on retail. You know, online retail is still available in stores, and I've seen this in stores in Australia as well. What else can I say about this? Well, you know, you can see on the dial there, divers 200 meters down the bottom, and then with that designation, it means it is a ISO 6425 compliant dive watch to 200 meters, as is many of the Seiko pieces around this range and above as well. It's got that screw-in crown, plain, it's not signed, but it is a screw-in crown, and a screw-in case back with that Seiko Tsunami, I guess, diver symbol, Seiko Air Diver 200 meters, you can see at the top there. And air diver means it's for air mixture rather than saturation diving with, for example, helium gas mixtures. Okay, so you know, that's really most of what I have to say about the case, and I have spent a considerable amount of the case because this really is the main highlight of this particular design. I think the bracelet that it comes with is solid. You know, you've seen the solid end links. These links are solid. They're not, you know, they've got alternating brushed and a slight polished surface there and polished on the sides, but it's not separate pieces like, for example, in the Seamaster. It is, you know, those links are, each one is a solid machined piece of metal there. Push pin links, you know, not screw in. And then I guess perhaps the class is the piece, the bit of it that's the most, I guess, weakest and most criticized is pressed metal, nothing too special. But it does have a diver's extension, and this one is a little bit different, you know, something that I haven't seen on the channel before is how this, you know, you can see that little bit there. You pull it up and it extends, and then you hook it back in and click that in, and that's how it attaches up. Okay, so let's see how it sits on the wrist. And there we have it, that turtle case that you know, kind of floats above the top. You know, 45 millimeters is fairly large, you know, about 48 from lug to lug. I think for my particular 17 plus centimeter wrist, it kind of just works, but for some people, 45 millimeters steel watch, you may feel this perhaps is a bit too substantial. Certainly, it probably pushes the boundary a bit about whether I should use this with a suit or not. Okay, so, you know, what I've liked about this, well, you know, it's a Seiko, it's a diver's 200 meter, it's a turtle, and it's got that PADI partnership. You know, what's not to like? There's a lot of, I guess, good little bits in there. I think it's got a very interesting look, and I can understand why it's so liked. I'm really tempted to get a turtle myself after handling this, and it's got looks with that, you know, that sheer functionality and that solidly built Seiko diver construction, and it's got really that case, you know, the details that I've pointed out is the highlight of this watch, I think, in my opinion. What's not so good? Well, you know, it's not universally appealing. Not everybody loves, you know, a cushion case like this with the wideness of the sides that you can see there. The PADI on the dial, you know, you may think that makes it look slightly busy. Actually, the normal turtles will have the Prospex X on the top there, taking the place of the PADI. And a less busy dial overall, so some people may not like the partnership, you know, almost advertising that it has there. It's got a relatively weak bezel. Now this is 120 click unidirectional bezel, dive bezel style, of course. You know, it's all right. It's fairly solid, but it just doesn't have a very robust click. Let's see whether you can hear it. Okay, so I think that's probably one of the weaker parts of this watch. You know, it's solid enough. It feels like it you know, it will function absolutely well. It's not going to go backwards, and it does its job. But you know, it certainly does not feel as high end as other parts of this watch. You know, does seem to deliver. It is a large watch. You know, 45 millimeters is not for everybody, and it is a heavy watch. Now this, you know, doesn't have all the links in there. It has obviously been shortened, and already it still weighs 175 grams, and that is 15 grams more than my Seamaster professional ceramic. And you feel that's close to 10% more, and you definitely feel that bit of difference, and you know, you're not going to forget that this is on your wrist. So, you know, there we have it. My look at this watch of the turtle shape range, which is so, you know, so popular, so widely covered. Let me know what you think, guys, of the Seiko turtles. Perhaps also, you know, this particular PADI turtle. I like how that sounds. Actually, it rolls off the tongue pretty well. Thank you guys again for watching this far. Thank you again, Graham, for making this available. Give us a like, you know, certainly subscribe to keep in touch. And as always, I will see you guys next time.